dollars are going to go, and where does Hamilton fit in that?
Yeah, we have a Southwestern Ontario platform that lays out some of that more specifically in terms of units for this region and for Hamilton. We know the need here is significant, and so we'll be allocating those resources and those spaces like supportive housing units based on need and population, obviously. But look, I mean, there's no question. Hamilton, frankly, thank goodness many in Hamilton have stepped up to support each other and to support community members here. Has really stepped forward. We know they're doing really important work, and people like Dr. Robin Lennox, our candidate here in Hamilton Centre, has done just an extraordinary job. But we need to act urgently, right? Because the reality in Ontario after 7 years of Doug Ford and the Conservatives is that these encampments and homelessness and the mental health and addictions crisis is rampant in every community across this province.
No, it also includes repairs. So that means, are you looking to upgrade current shelters, or,
yes.
or is there like new shelters that are being planned?
Both, right? Yeah. Both upgrading and repairs, and also new. And let's not forget, our plan for 1.5 million homes includes 350,000 truly deeply affordable units, rent geared to income, co-op housing, things like that, and 60,000 supportive housing units, which, when you're talking about what people need, that kind of deep support to transition them into other homes is a really important piece of this. And we, of course, talked about here at the YWCA. And they have plans to build on Ottawa Street, the Oakwood project, which I think is going to be addressing some of that. But we need to do so much more, and we need to get it done fast. And then ultimately, we need to create affordable spaces so that people have somewhere they can live long term. And we need to make sure people don't lose their homes in the first place, and which is why we're proposing real rent control. It's an absolutely essential part of the housing solution.
Separating yourself from the Ontario Liberals who are aiming to try to alleviate the financial burden on municipalities, how does your plan differ from theirs? Are you offering better savings, or are you offering actual money as funding for relief?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, one part of it is we are absolutely working with municipalities, with nonprofits, and providing the financing solutions so that they could get the housing bill. We aren't going to do this just on our own. But that's our Homes Ontario plan. But then the other part of what we're proposing is a new deal for municipalities, where we are taking back 50% of the operating costs of all kinds of things, including transit, stuff that was downloaded onto municipalities years ago. So we're going to take some of that financial burden away from municipalities and put it back at the provincial level where it belongs. And, by the way, in terms of building affordable housing, we're not building any housing in Ontario, right? Housing starts are down all across this province to levels that they were in the 1950s. BC, the NDP government, is building 4 times as much housing, and that includes deeply affordable housing.
Sorry, I got one more. Doug Ford's in Washington. Clearly, yes. Tariffs are always going to be on everyone's mind, but the NDP is talking about expanding supply chains, finding new export markets. Can you maybe explain why your plan is better than what the PCs are saying they're going to do?
Yeah, well, first of all, Doug Ford's been down, and was the second time he's been down in Washington during this election, and what do we get for it? We got tariffs on steel and aluminum. So his plan is not working. And I believe in a strong, united Canadian approach. With all of the provinces working with the federal government. But look, we need to tariff-proof our economy. I was talking to steelworkers here just last week when the tariffs were announced. They said to me, back in 2018, the last time this happened, Doug walked away. He didn't really do anything to help support workers. We've seen that before. He shrugs it off and heads down to the U.S. to talk to his buddy Donald Trump. Well, it's not helping us. What we need here is somebody who's going to fight for Ontario jobs, who's going to fight for every single sector and every single job in this province and here in Hamilton. And I don't see Doug Ford rolling up his sleeves. I mean, just last night we learned that 2,200 workers and their families are going to not have jobs anymore in Brampton, in the auto sector. This is starting already. And where is Doug Ford? Nothing he has done so far has helped prevent any of this.
Are there new markets, though, to help save those steel jobs?
I think there are. First of all, I've also been up in the Sioux talking to steelworkers there and all across the province. I think there are other opportunities. Obviously, the United States will remain an important trade partner.
You were correct. It's fact.
But we have to look to our other allies around the world, Democratic allies, who Donald Trump is also trying to pick off one by one, right? We need to build those relationships, and we need to reduce our internal trade barriers as well, so that we can build a stronger Buy Ontario, Made in Ontario, Made in Canada approach.
You have a relationship with Premier Legault?
And Legault, yeah, I don't know Legault as well, but I have very good relationships out west with David Eby, with Wab Kinew, and many of the other premiers.
I'm only asking just to see if he remains in power, because I know Quebec could be a barrier there. Right.
Well, we'll see, right? I think that, when it comes to some of those issues, we do need to have all of the provinces on board. There needs to be a deep conversation. My priority right now is absolutely maintaining and protecting Ontario jobs and opportunities here in Hamilton with steelworkers and all across the province. And, I've been actually at the table since these threats first came out. Doug Ford, when Donald Trump was threatening our sovereignty, was threatening our industries during the last American election, he was still supporting him, 100%. You know what? Ontarians deserve to know that they can trust that their premier is going to be fighting every second of every day for those jobs and opportunities. Right.